What is up, guys? Welcome back to the mighty Turbo LS GU Ute build. This thing is really cracking along and we couldn't be happier with how it is coming together. So, first point of call for this episode is to dummy up the entire bell housing, manifolds, turbo, and the dump pipe all together outside of the car, hanging on the crane, which is going to be sketchy as. But Rex wants to make the heat shield for the clutch, for the slave, I should say, the clutch slave. He wants to do that out of the car because where it is in the car is really hard to get to. It's going to be a real pain. He's got to weld his little
fucking hoist. I wouldn't worry about it.
Yeah, well, too bad we can't have hoists here, Rex.
Sick of crawling on the fucking ground. Welding that fitting onto that fuel line was such a pain in the ass.
Well, hey, I did say, like at the start of the week, if you want to put it on the hoist, you push the 80 outside. Can't win them all. So anyway, Rex wants to make that heat shield with it all out of the car, but he needs everything dummied up so he knows where to make it. But the little tube nuts that Rex is welding on all the pipe to make the really good heat shields, in order to do that somewhere that's nice, it's going to be a lot easier out of the car. So that's what we're up to at the moment. It's going to take a bit of screwing about to get that sorted, and then once that's sorted, we can start going together in the car, which is going to be happy days. Really start slamming this thing together, and then we still got to finish the exhaust off. I keep saying we, but at this point, all I've done with this whole build is pretty much pull the TD42 out. So the rest of it's basically all just Rex's build. But hey, I've been here for moral support.
It's a team effort always.
Yeah. Hey, I've been making a lot of the ordering the parts. I ordered our Starlink internet, which is here now, so.
We're a team in victory and a team in defeat. So.
Oh, look at this. Ooh. She taut.
Yeah, it's the same, that one too. She's like millimeter. But once it has a gasket in it, that'll give us an extra mil, so it should be sweet.
Taut like a tiger.
Oh yes.
Woo-hoo-hoo. Just look at it. Just, would you look at that? Would you just look at it?
You can see why I was saying it's easier to do this here than it is in the car. Because when you got, like, the body is all around it, the trans tunnel, the chassis is hard down that side. But I try and mark where I want these nuts and then make a cardboard version of the heat shield and then try and make the real one. It's going to have a couple of funky shapes, but I mean, when you look here where I've placed these nuts, like now that I know where the line is going to be, that there's a gap here, I can put one here instead of where I had it marked before and a guess was there, which is obviously not a very nice spot. So it just makes this heaps nicer that I can do this now, make it, and it'll go in the car, and then we just literally bolt it on and it's done.
Yeah.
Much nicer.
Heat shield, heat shield. Pretty much sorted as much as Rex wanted to get it sorted. That's all we really wanted to do with the dummy setup. So see that heat shield there, which protects our clutch slave, which is awesome. Again, tube nuts bolted to the dump with air gap. Heat shield's going to be doing a great job at being a heat shield, which is what it was designed for. Also got, this other one up here, which protects our power steering from the manifold and collector. So really nice.
And extend it a little bit just so that it gives the belt just a little bit of protection, even though it shouldn't really need it if it's always moving, but it can't hurt.
Happy days. Righto guys, always with the fun time spectaculars. So just getting ready to chuck in our final engine to start putting the patrol together. And it occurred to me that Rex actually forgot the flywheel bolts.
It occurred to you that I forgot them, is that
right? So Rex actually forgot to get the flywheel bolts. Yeah, and it's Friday before a long weekend, so yeah, that's always fun. No, I've got to go to the machine shop today, take another couple of engines to him and pick up an engine from him. So I'm waiting for him to get back to me. I'm hoping that he's there today, but I am hoping that he might just happen to have a set of ARP Flex flywheel bolts for an LS just laying around that I can replace next week.
I'd be shocked if he does.
But anyway, at this stage it's just looking like we're gonna have to wait till next week, which is sick. But anyway, you get that. There's a prime example of how one oversight, one part that I missed can cost literally days on a project. Literally days. So yeah, that's fun. Anyway, waiting for him to call me back. I'll get on to someone else and get a set sent ASAP. All right, guys, so because of Rex's shortfallings, he's had to go ahead and put the dummy block back in to continue on with what he's doing. So hope you've learnt your lesson there, Rex.
Yeah, don't leave anything up to you.
Hey, I literally organise everything.
Not everything, apparently.
Well, no, not apparently Flywheel Belts. Apparently I forget those. Anyway, no, you get that.
Wait, I'm not the one who's laying any blame here. As I said yesterday, team in victory, team in defeat.
Yeah, fair enough. Well,
you're the one who tried to pin it on me.
Sorry that I haven't been filming more of what's going on, guys. I've been building this RB25. So Rex got the dummy motor back in and he built the heat shields over the engine mounts. So they are looking just peachy. They're looking really, really great, really good. So that's how we have heat shields that protect the engine mounts from the heat of the turbo manifolds, which means hopefully he should never ever have to change the bushes in them, because as we talked about at the beginning of this build, the design of the engine mounts would make it very, very hard to do so. So that's that. So that's that done. So I think that's pretty much all the heat shields that we were going to make sorted. We'll just have a look basically once the dump's in there, maybe make one up on top of the...
One for the bottom rat hose maybe.
Oh, okay, yeah, one for the bottom rat hose as well on this manifold crossover. Yeah, we'll see what happens there. But for the most part, I think we've covered most bases of things that really, really need protecting. So that's awesome. We also received some more packages today, some more Christmas packages. So Rex has been able to essentially finally get that actual fuel system in the car and start making the actual fuel lines and getting that sorted. So fuel system should more or less be sorted in the car, ready to go. So yeah, happy days. We got the message from Malix Motorsport. Our high mount AC setup is on the way. So it may even be a little bit of a blessing in disguise that the engine's not going to be in the car. We might be able to screw around with that kit and get it fitted out of the car, which might just be a bit easier. Not that we're that worried about that anyway, but it's nice to know that that's on the way as well. There's not going to be any holdups with AC, and we should be able to just charge ahead and get the AC setup working as well. So hopefully the car's completely finished by the time Dinah gets back here and we get it tuned, and the owner can come and take it and have a freaking ball of fun. I'm excited to do some test driving in this thing just quietly. I think it's going to be freaking wicked. But anyway, that's the latest. Actually, that's the other thing that did arrive this morning is his blow-off valve. Where'd you put that, Rex?
Oh, it's on the table there amongst that fucking mess.
Oh, yeah, here it is. So this is the blow-off valve that we purchased, as I talked about, I think it was last episode maybe. So it's the dual port one. So we've got one side, one port that we can actually plumb back, which is, as we talked about, keep the system sealed. And then we've got the other port, which is actually a trumpet. And it also comes with just a block off bung, so that at any point you can easily block either one off. So as we talked about, you can block off the trumpet, run it recirculated for when he's off-road, keep the whole setup sealed, which will be all happy days. And then if he's just on the street, he's going to a meet at Bunnings or something, then he wants to make some noise, block off the plumb back, run the trumpet, and it'll go. All right, guys, so I haven't done any filming today. I was building another engine for most of the morning, but Rex done a few things today. The water pump's been all cleaned up, ready to go. Rex replaced the seal in the back of the water pump, so it's ready to go on the main engine so that it can go in, obviously when we get some flywheel bolts. He also put the M12 adapter in the top rad hose, so that is for the Mark's adapter to adapt the actual patrol temperature sender so that the one in the dash works. So as we talked about, we did that so that we can put the Defi one in the head so that it's more accurate. So Rex modeled that in as well. As you can see, got our painted intercooler mark mount. We've got our painted intercooler mount back in the car, and this is the space that Rex made up just for the power steering cooler so that it's mounted back in front of it, out of the way.
And I did bend them so that it doesn't touch the cooler, but I did put just a little bits of sticky foam at the ends just if it wants to try and touch it for some reason. I just don't want the fins rubbing on the core.
Yeah. So that's happy days. That's in the car, and he's mounted the fuse box up here. That's our mount that's Rex painted up as well. So as you can see, that's a little bit more tidy than it was before. But obviously, like we talked about, once this thing's running, we'll tidy up that wiring completely and have it all nice and tidy. And Rex did some searching around in the LS Patrol Facebook pages to find what the best accelerator pedal solution is going to be. It looks like a TB48 Patrol pedal is just going to go straight in. So we'll get one of them ordered on Tuesday because it's a long weekend. But yeah, you know, it's all looking pretty good. Apart from obviously having to finish the exhaust, but at this point, once we get these flywheel bolts, everything's just going to basically start falling together and going back into place. Yeah, we really are at the pointy end of this project. It doesn't look like it when you're looking at all this parts and stuff on the floor and this dummy engine in the engine bay, but truthfully, we are closing in on the pointy end of this thing. Yeah, so
it'll go together very, very quickly.
Yeah. So yeah, basically one of the biggest jobs that I can think of that we still have left is obviously once this AC kit gets here, we start to make AC mounts. That's going to be probably a fairly big job. I don't know. We'll see how that's going to be when it gets here. And obviously we've got to get his bob in the setup as well. But we'll worry about that when it all goes back in the car. Yep. That can be done with the main engine in there for all that matters. And obviously he'll finish the exhaust at that point. But I think that's enough for this episode. Honestly, I think the way I'm thinking, I think there's probably only going to be 2 more episodes, really. But anyway, we'll see how it goes. But that's going to be this episode. I think. Hopefully it's not too long. I don't know. I can't even remember. Again, just filming a little bit every day. I sort of lose track of when it started or what was involved in the video. But anyway, thanks for watching as always, guys. Hope you're enjoying it. We certainly are. Again, I think I close off with the same line every time, but we are really, really excited about this build. So keen for it. Thanks for watching as always, guys. Smash like, smash subscribe. We'll see you on the next one. Peace out. See you. Bye.